Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another week of That's a Wrap. This is our Halloween special. My name is Austin Jameson, and joining me today is
Anthony Gentry. Hello.
Yeah, we have a Halloween movie
Yes.
to talk about.
It's a very spooky movie for a very spooky day.
This episode might make me sick. I'm not prepared to talk about it in any way, shape, or form.
I finished it an hour ago.
I somehow finished it last night. This was one of the hardest movies I've ever watched, and I will say I was mostly doing things while watching it.
But before we give away our thoughts, of course, we are going to review the Munsters today.
Yeah.
But we have a few trailers to talk about.
We do have a few trailers to talk about. Let's go ahead and start with a little FX show on Horizon, featuring Jesse Eisenberg. He was the first name on the trailer, and I don't remember the others. 1 second. We got
Josh Radnor's in it.
Stannis, maybe. Lizzie Kaplan.
Yeah, Lizzie Kaplan is really good.
It is called, I believe, Fleischman is in Trouble. It's a TV show coming to FX.
Yeah, it made it seem like the trailer made it seem like it was
Hulu.
a comedy at first, and then it transitioned into this kind of drama, suspense kind of thing. And you know what? It worked for me. I'm excited to see this.
It seems like from the trailer at least, it seems like it deals with very realistic problems and very realistic human emotions. You can't really you can go wrong with that, but if you do it well, you can't. I think it usually lands well, and it seems like it's going to be a good performance. We got like we just said with the cast, they all look like super strong performers, and I think it has a lot of potential.
Yeah.
I believe it's coming to Hulu November 17th.
Oh, okay, that's soon.
It is.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I thought at first, I was a little worried because they were like, what if something happened to her? And I really didn't want to go into this kind of like, I guess, melodrama kind of, like you take the plot of a romance gone sour and then you heighten it with like this kidnapping or murder or something. And then they're like, no, it's just these two people going through a divorce, and that's where the drama comes in. And I'm like, okay, like that sounds really interesting, and I'm excited to watch it.
Yeah, that's coming up soon.
Yeah, that's all I got for it.
Another small teaser that we got, emphasis on small. It's only like a minute long. It's a new Netflix movie. It's a movie about Edgar Allan Poe.
Yes.
It is called A Pale Blue Dot. It is Christian Bale. Is he Edgar Allan Poe?
No, so
he's another guy.
Christian Bale plays, I think it says like this world-weary detective who is trying to solve the murder of a police cadet. But because it is a police cadet, it's like all hush-hush, so he can't even really get to the bottom of it. So he takes like the help of another police cadet to help him in his case, and that's Edgar Allan Poe.
Gotcha. Seems interesting.
It's super interesting.
The cinematography looked super duper good.
Yeah.
We didn't get a lot.
Christian Bale, so he's gonna bring it.
True. We didn't get a lot of the actual like performances. Really, it was mostly just like slow crawling like teaser shots for the film. But it looks like a good time.
It does.
It did what a teaser's supposed to do. Next up, highly anticipated Disney Plus series.
It actually is highly anticipated.
That's true. I grew up on these movies.
Yes.
We have
the second time we'll talk about this, but it's the first time for everyone else because the first time our audio got corrupted.
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah, this was high up when during our first episode of this season. We had like 15 trailers that we talked about. This was pretty high up there.
Yeah. And of course, it's the Tim Allen TV show, The Santa Clauses.
This is putting all those rumors to rest of Disney not wanting to work with Tim Allen.
Yeah.
So just L for Buzz Lightyear there. But he got the Santa role back. We got Santa Claus. I probably watched like Santa Claus 3 last year.
Santa Claus 3 is a classic. I don't care.
Except the second one.
The second one is,
The second one, they lost the rights to it, so you can only really want to. You have to watch. You have to cut between different channels if you want to watch all three.
No, they have the rights to it. It's all on Disney Plus.
Disney does, but back in my day when I watched.
Oh, you mean like ABC Family?
Right.
Yeah.
Because they I don't know what merged or whatever happened, but 1 and 3 were always shown together, but they didn't have the rights to 2. Another channel did.
Yeah.
So you'd have
that
to
is true.
time it weirdly. But
that's okay because 2 was kind of eh.
He's coming back. This trailer recovered a lot of my expectations from the last teaser trailer.
For me, it kind of did the opposite.
Really?
Because I liked the first teaser.
You liked the football player bit?
I forget that bit, honestly.
I thought I thought the whole bit was just going to be like, we need to find a new Santa. I thought that was the premise of the show. It looked really boring. It looked like it was going to be a bunch of cheap laughs with Tim
you mean
Allen.
Peyton Manning? Okay, yeah.
Yes.
Well, with this, I don't know. I liked the first half of it with like, oh, I'm retired. I'm gonna like be Santa in the real world.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of like the bit of him going to the coffee shop is a clear carbon copy of him in the business meeting in the first movie. But you know what? There's just something to that of Santa Claus ordering this bombastic order and everyone else who's in the real world just reacting to it that I find charming. And so I really like that part. But then when they got into the, oh no, I picked the wrong Santa, we gotta fight back, it just felt like too many beats of Santa Claus 2 and 3, especially with that Nutcracker dude. And that aspect of it, I'm not really looking forward to, but the rest of it, I look forward to. Austin's giving me a really weird face right now. He looks confused. What do you have to say?
I think that, well, first of all, the second half of the trailer is what the movie's about. So if you don't like that, then I don't know if you'll, or TV show. I don't know if you'll like the plot very much. I thought it was fine. I was glad that we finally got a plot, and it wasn't just like, we're gonna get a bunch of celebrities, we're gonna get a bunch of wacky actors, and they're gonna come like try and be the next Tim Allen Santa Claus. I thought that was stupid. Funny for a second, maybe, but if that was the purpose of the show, that was dumb. I'm glad we finally got a plot. I don't think it's very similar to like obviously it's similar in the second or third one where Santa loses the control of Santa.
Yeah,
but the circumstances do seem different.
They are different
because it's him retiring.
I think I want to know who is the new Santa.
I'm glad they didn't reveal it. I'm interested to see who it is.
Oh yeah, no, I'm glad about that too. But I'm waiting for my opinion to change for like I guess when I watch the show to see how they bring it all together. You know.
Yeah, no, I agree. I'll definitely be watching it probably with my mom, who I've watched like every movie of this with every Christmas.
Yeah. I also thought there are 2 kids in it. I thought that was Charlie at first, and I was like, oh man, he looks young.
Yeah.
And then he said, oh, I can't wait to see a crossing guard. And at first I was like, that's bad writing, Charlie. You're in the real world. You know what a crossing guard is. And then I remembered, oh wait, no, they had twins in Santa Claus 3. No, it's all good.
You must be a fake fan there. I almost forgot about the Santa Claus lore, but that's okay.
No, I remember
You did remember it.
I remember it. But no, I'm still looking forward to this show. I'm excited to see it. It's going to be cool seeing Tim Allen back as Santa Claus.
Yeah, I think it'll be nostalgic. And the last trailer seemed like a cheap Disney Plus, like we're going to bring back an original, which is what
I
Disney
think they're
Plus
bringing
does.
it.
But I think this trailer has done a lot better of a job of shedding light that they can still write as Tim Allen Santa Claus, and it doesn't feel like it's just like...
I love the beginning of it remake. When he goes down the fireplace and they all freak out.
Yeah.
See, yeah, I think it's going to be a good show. I'm just... The second half has me a little worried, but I think they'll bring it together. Mainly just with the Nutcracker guy, because that's like the second movie. When Mrs. Claus is fighting the Nutcracker dude... and it just, I don't know, that just got me a little weird.
Okay.
Because I don't want to see
like... It's a movie about Santa Claus, bro.
Well, I don't want to see like an action-packed Santa Claus. I want to see comedy. You know?
No.
Okay. Well,
I think the last
I still have high hopes for this.
Me too.
That's all I'm saying.
Me too. Anyways.
Let's
move on. Another Christmas movie thing on the horizon.
Yeah.
Another Disney Plus
special presentation
product that is being created. And our favorite cinematic universe, Guardians of the Galaxy, are coming back before their third movie for a holiday special. James Gunn is probably bathing in his money right now.
Yeah. The same day they released this trailer, he was announced to be the head of DC.
So, yeah, pretty good week for James Gunn, I'd say.
What did you think of this trailer?
I don't care. I just don't care.
I liked the trailer.
Clearly, like, okay.
Oh, no.
Call it Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special.
Yeah.
Give me the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
Give me just Drax.
Okay, yeah.
Mantis. Like a cameo maybe from Karen Gillan as Nebula. Am I missing anybody?
They showed Rocket and Buff Groot.
That's true. My bad.
And Peter Quill.
You're gonna get cameos from all of them for 2
it's
seconds,
all gonna be cameos.
and then Chris Pratt's gonna be like, "I'm busy. I gotta go back to Nintendo Land."
I gotta go fight dinosaurs and put on a fake Italian accent.
I'll say in the second movie, I liked Mantis and Drax.
I didn't like the second movie.
The second movie grew on me hard.
I was hoping it would do that, but every time I try to watch it, it just sinks lower and lower for me.
Why?
Maybe the humor in it, I didn't think it fit, and it felt like they were going for the joke too many times.
I guess so.
It just didn't work.
I think that's where Guardians excels. Personally, is they are in space. They have James Gunn does not have a lot of rules he has to follow.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And I think he excels with that kind of storytelling, especially with like Suicide Squad or Peacemaker or anything like that. I'll say Peacemaker is probably the most grounded project he's had to make, and it's still really good.
Yeah.
But I don't. This is like, it doesn't have any importance. It's just like a.
That's what I like about
aside.
It. It's gonna be this little holiday special that we can just have fun with.
I don't even have the patience to watch like almost main movies anymore, let alone all of She-Hulk.
But Kevin Bacon.
That was stupid.
That was so funny. It's gonna be so good.
It'll be funny for a second, and then it'll go on, and it'll go on.
No, that's
gonna
continue.
be.
No. It's gonna be good.
They're just gonna make
You gotta trust
Kevin
James
Bacon.
Gunn.
I don't trust MCU. I do not trust MCU. I think they're gonna try and do him dirty so that nobody wants him back anymore.
I love how we started this podcast last year with like MCU fans, and now
well, Spider-Man was
so
coming
jaded.
out. Spider-Man was pretty cool.
Yeah,
and then Doctor Strange came out, and then
Doctor
Thor:
Strange
Love and Thunder
and
came
Thor.
out, and then She-Hulk came out, and then
You
Miss
haven't
Marvel
watched
came out,
She-Hulk,
and then that's true.
And you said you liked Miss Marvel.
I didn't.
You liked
Miss Marvel cemented my concept that the beginning or the first episode of every Marvel series is the best, and then it just goes straight downhill.
Yeah, the first episode of She-Hulk is the best.
Miss Marvel is solid. The first episode, there's so much style, there's so much like authenticity to it. It has all the elements I'd want in a Miss Marvel story. And then the next episode, you get like two of the like digital like the graphics that appear and happen in the world.
Yeah,
and then
but
by the fourth episode, there's none.
Okay,
they lose all of
but
their
the show
art.
is still good.
Every one of these shows,
I still enjoy the show.
The show is bad. It was
No,
really
it's
bad.
not.
I didn't care about any of them, and it was like the stakes were a high school.
Yeah,
and the villain.
You don't need to have high stakes.
The villain was
though.
a side character from Spider-Man. They can't even get better than that. it was really boring and unfortunate because I like Miss Marvel and I like it seemed cool. And then it was just cheesy writing and like very predictable.
Is this gonna be your
MCU.
New Last Jedi?
No. Miss Marvel's not gonna be my Last Jedi. Last Jedi is a different realm. I think Disney's just ruining everything for me.
Let's move on.
I'm growing up and I'm realizing.
I'm excited for the Guardians holiday
I'm
special.
not.
I look forward to it. It's coming out the end of November.
How dare you cut me off? We have time. Miss Marvel is a joke.
Let's move on.
They front load all of their shows so incredibly much so that you watch the first episode.
Let's move on to the main topic of the show.
They take the you have to hook your audience, and that's what you do. You make the beginning super good, but you want to. A hook shouldn't be the best part of your movie.
I agree.
It should get you in, but it should be of similar quality for the rest of the episodes. Ms. Marvel doesn't deliver on that.
Yeah,
Falcon and the Winter Soldier doesn't deliver on that. WandaVision doesn't deliver on that. Loki doesn't deliver that. WandaVision
delivered
does not.
until the last episode.
Still downhill the entire time.
Yeah.
Really cool concept, and then they start explaining things, and it's like
yeah, because last two episodes they explained everything, and that's where it went downhill for me.
Mm-hmm.
But I do like the rest of WandaVision. But I do agree with you.
I think Marvel has a very hard time resolving plots and storylines, and they're just like, we can't. They like everything has to be answered with a question so they can set up a sequel. No Marvel project anymore has you thinking about the end of that character.
Yeah.
Because you have to be thinking about the next movie. It's not how is this movie going to resolve this plot line. It's how is it going to be answered later. And so you don't get solid, succinct stories anymore. You get like Miss Marvel, where it's like a Spider-Man or like a Spider-Man cop is the villain in this one, because it's just like they
I would
need
say
to.
The entire police force is the villain.
I get it. Well, it's not even like really the police force as much as it is that like specific unit.
The other cop of Miss Marvel.
Mm-hmm.
That's the villain, not the one from Spider-Man.
Fair enough, but still, what was her name?
I don't know.
Exactly. And they've lost all content and depth, where it's just, here's a new, like, we're in a new phase of Marvel. Endgame is gone.
Yeah.
Everybody's dead or retired.
I'm hoping
or
Black Panther brings that depth back.
I
think that's going to be the saving grace.
I really don't. I think the only chance we like I said in our last episode is that Ant-Man has a chance at like reviving anything of my care for Marvel.
Okay.
But at the same time, if they do not develop Scott Lang or anybody else in this movie, it's all for naught. Because their goals with Ant-Man is to introduce Kang, and if I don't know what they're gonna do, but if they introduce Kang in a meaningful way, well done. But I imagine it's going to be...
They already introduced him in a meaningful way, but like this version of Kang, yeah.
Because it's going to be him introducing, like, it'll be Kang's presence as like this all-powerful monster, the next Thanos.
I have a question for you.
And the movie's going to end.
Do you think this Kang will be the Kang that's going to be the main villain of the rest of this saga?
I don't know. If it isn't,
I don't think
that
so.
sucks.
Yeah.
Because their problem with this character right now, if they do that, is that they have to keep reintroducing the character. And bravo to Jonathan Majors and his bank account, but that does like it's going to get repetitive.
Yeah.
Because you can have that bit where there's infinite of this character and they're all evil and they all want to conquer the galaxy and whatnot. But the third time you introduce Kang, it's gonna get obnoxious.
That's fair. Yeah.
And so if this is their chance to wrap up Ant-Man's trilogy, and set Kang going forth for this next saga, and they're fine. But that being said, if they don't start severing off storylines and completing them, that's why Hawkeye is probably my favorite Disney Plus show, because it actually finishes a story for once.
That is
granted, it does set up, like, you have what's her name, Florence Pugh's character, Black Widow's like sister. Or whatever.
Yeah, and that's what Marvel should be. It should be having a story and finishing it, while also just putting in some seeds, but still finishing the main character's story.
The main stories don't feel meaningful anymore.
Yeah, like Moon Knight did it until the very end when they're like, oh, he's still out there.
Right, and everything. Because it worked with Iron Man and it worked with the like MCU up to this point of like end credit scenes. It's like they're here to like catch you and get you excited for the next thing. But now every movie feels like an end credit scene.
Yeah.
That's my Marvel rant.
The Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special comes to you November 25th.
That it does. Yeah, take time out of your lovely Christmas with your family or loved ones and watch a Disney product. So I think that's all the trailers we got today. Speaking of products, let's freaking talk about the Munsters. I'm ticked off.
Let's get into it.
Rob Zombie is well known.
He's at it once again.
He's well known for his like rated R, like gritty horror films.
Yeah, let's talk about the history of this.
Yeah.
The trailer for this movie, I think, came out in the summer, maybe August. I watched it and went, oh my God, this looks absolutely awful. I can't wait to watch it. And then I went around showing everyone I knew, hey, watch this trailer, including Austin.
Naturally.
And we talked about it on one of our episodes. And we saw, it's going straight to Netflix in September, a full month before Halloween even happens.
Right.
Happy Halloween, by the way.
It is Halloween when we're filming this. I forgot.
It is.
The weekend being right before Halloween kind of messed everything up, I feel.
But so we were like looking at our schedule for like all the movies we're going to do as we do, and we saw, we're doing an episode on Halloween. We got to do something Halloween related, and there's not really many movies coming out in theaters and like wide release that we can see.
Right.
So then I brought up the great idea of, hey, how about we do the Munsters? To which Austin said, okay.
That's pretty accurate.
And so we had this set in stone. We are going to do the Munsters. And we have both put this off until the very last minute.
Yes, we did.
I got a text from Austin last night of
what did I say?
A picture of you finally watching it. And you said, this movie is terrible. And I said, I can't believe we actually chose this.
But here we are.
Here we are.
Here we are, the morning after Munsters.
Yes, we got the Munsters hangover.
And man, okay. There is a Venn diagram of horror movies. Specific. It could be any movie. It could be any type of movie, whether it's trying to be good or it's trying to be funny, whatever. Where there's horror movies that are so scary and so captivating that you are genuinely scared the entire time. There's horror movies that are comedy and they are trying to make you laugh while being goofy, scary. And then there's the middle where the movie's trying to take itself seriously, but it's so funny and bad that you're laughing at it.
I thought you were going to say a horror comedy.
Not even that.
No.
That's probably the actual Venn diagram. But all that to say, I thought this movie, I was very excited going into it a month ago, that this movie is going to be terrible. We already know that. The trailer says enough. I'm excited to make so much fun of this movie and just laugh at it and have a good time. This movie fell out of the Venn diagram and deeper into the 8th level of hell that is.
It's a movie that doesn't take itself seriously, is trying to make you laugh, but does not make you laugh whatsoever.
Correct. This movie is a trip.
This movie is a showcase in bad filmmaking.
It truly is.
I was looking through. I have more notes than I've ever taken for a movie before, just of every single aspect of this movie is bad. Whether it's the editing, the lighting, the cinematography, the sound, the acting, the direction, all of it is bad.
Yeah.
I've said before, for movies we've reviewed, that this movie is bad because it has no direction. It feels lifeless. This movie has a direction. It actually does. It is, I won't say full of life, but it's something it's going for, and it fails spectacularly at it. This
movie has its hands off the steering wheel, but has its foot slammed on the gas.
Yes.
I agree. It doesn't have a direction, but it has velocity, and so it's trying to.
Well, I feel like it does have a direction in that.
Are you talking about the story or just the creation of the film?
The creation of the film.
Okay.
I can tell they are going for this campy feel, appealing to kids, stuff like that. The direction of the story, I fully agree with you. Nothing.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, we're not going to do a spoiler talk for this. This is the spoiler talk.
Don't watch this movie.
Yeah, don't watch this. Just listen to us talk about how bad it is.
The same way you shouldn't support, if you don't like something in a video game, don't play the video game. This movie, sheesh. Rob Zombie, man, I don't know what was going on. I'm not gonna, we're not gonna attack anything like that. But man, this movie was rough.
Yes, it was.
So, I think we should dive into it. Spoilers, people. It's the Munsters.
It doesn't matter.
This movie came out on Netflix. It got a DVD, Blu-ray release.
Yeah, it came out a month ago, so you've had plenty of time to watch it too.
And if you did, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Please don't watch it.
Reach out to us. If
We're gonna form a support group.
Someone to talk to. Okay. Read me your first note verbatim. I'm curious. What do you have to say on there?
My very first note.
Yeah, verbatim.
This is awful.
Wonderful.
My second note, jokes are lame.
Okay.
Then writing is awful.
Okay.
And then even the technical stuff. And then I said, oh, it all makes sense. They spent their entire budget getting the one song, I Got You, Babe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we should dive into the individual elements of the film first.
I was going to say maybe we should go like scene by scene.
I don't remember this movie at all.
Okay. Okay.
I am on the Munsters hangover.
Yeah, let's do element by element first.
There is no fraction or part of this movie that I can genuinely say they did a good job. I don't think so. My first note is so much grain. The lighting is so bad.
The film grain was over the top. I didn't notice it when I watched the beginning on my phone, but then I watched it on my TV.
Yeah.
And it was so like obvious and so in your face. It was distracting.
I don't know who was in charge of lighting, but they brought in a almost 100 million watt green lamp, and they put it in every single scene.
Especially the scenes with the grandpa. Or I guess the dad in this one, but he's called grandpa.
They were so there's so many elements that go into lighting and gaffing and whatnot, but you need to understand that you need to have a lit scene one way or another, because if you are just shooting in the plain dark and you artificially light it up later, you're going to get noise like film grain, noise, whatever you want to call it. This movie uses that as like a technique, and it doesn't use it well, because even in scenes that are like broad daylight, it's still there. And I don't know if he was or if Rob Zombie or whoever made the decision was like, let's do this. It'll give it like the old timey feel. Because The Munsters was like an old TV show.
Yeah, it's like from the 50s or 60s.
Noise / film grain / whatever you want to call it. That alone does not give a movie an old timey feel.
No.
It makes it seem unprofessional. Because it makes it seem like you shot it in a not well lit or not well produced area. And so you have the giant, and any time they're in the mansion at the beginning of the movie, they have a giant green light on the grandpa or the dad. And just the lighting of it was, it's so incredibly disgusting to look at.
Yeah, the lighting's awful.
Yeah.
Everything you see on screen is awful.
Yeah.
I really want to talk about the set decoration.
If they have a set with their green screen that they shot half of the shots with.
But I mean, the scenes in the house where, they just... It's clear they went to, Party City or, Spirit Halloween. They grabbed every single Halloween decoration they could find and just placed it on the set without any rhyme or reason. It's so much so that it was distracting. It filled up the camera lens when we are trying to see the actors. Right. And, I get they're probably just trying to filter out all the bad stuff in the back that they don't want you to see, but it makes it so distracting that it's all you can pay attention to rather than what is actually going on in the scene, which isn't good anyway.
Yeah, this movie definitely has a problem with overstimulation. It feels like one of my notes. Did I write it down or did I just think it? 1 second. I didn't. It's YouTube poop. It is content farm, Spider-Man, Elsa level, acting and editing and graphics and sound and everything. It feels like it was spit out by a YouTube poop production company.
What's your least favorite use of the green screen in this movie? Mine is
Paris.
Okay, yeah, that's bad.
Yeah.
Mine is just when they have the weird backgrounds of the lightning strikes that are purple and everything.
Right.
I hated that.
It's you get the heart and it's the ooga moment and it's shut up.
That and when they make Herman and then when the dad finds out that Lily's engaged after going on one date with Herman for 3 hours.
It literally wants to be frozen so bad. It wants to be frozen so bad. That was a joke, but also kind of does. Anthony, did you at any moment of this movie genuinely laugh?
No.
Okay. Okay, me neither.
Did you?
No. I will say there are some jokes that land better, if at all, but I cannot remember them.
The only joke that even a little bit landed for me was the very end with the raven saying "nevermore" as it left the clock.
I did not remember that at
I
all.
was like, okay, still not laughing.
Yeah,
but
my second note, just the like, I wish I could get a budget like this in any of the films that I got to make, but you could tell they were like Rob Zombie. Just give him whatever, just let him do that.
Well, I looked it up. Apparently, it's $9 million.
Still,
yeah. Before we said 40 million, but no, it's apparently 9 million. But still, I think Bros had a budget of 10 million,
right?
And that was way better shot than this.
It looked like an actual movie and not like a YouTube documentary.
Yeah.
The makeup and the like everybody in this movie, because the vibe I think they're going for is overproduced horror haunted house.
Way overproduced. Yeah.
And that's what they get.
Yeah, it's so much overproduced. It's hard to see things at times.
Yes.
Just with all the set decorations, the camera focuses on that rather than the characters.
Mm-hmm. It is ridiculous. My second note was you can see the back of Orlok's bald cap, which you could.
I didn't notice that.
My third note is the lighting sucks so much.
Yeah.
My fourth note is purple lighting MS Paint graphics.
Oh, wait, I think I didn't notice his bald cap because I watched that a month ago, and I decided I'm just going to keep going where I left off.
The performances across the board, I don't think it's the fault of... Well, there's one that it might be the fault of the actor.
Which one? Is it his wife?
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know if Rob Zombie was like, so act like you can't act. Or act like it's overperformed. I never saw the original Munsters. If it's like that, really good job. Something makes me feel like it's not, but I don't have the credibility to say so.
I think it's both the fault of the acting and the direction.
Yes.
I think the only slightly good one is the dad, because it feels like he kind of knows what movie
Herman?
he's in. No, the grandpa.
I think Herman was okay at certain points. It fluctuated so incredibly much.
No, I'm sorry. I don't think he's good.
I'm trying to give this movie any credit.
Especially with that laugh that he always does. At first, I kind of thought it was a little, humorous. But then he just kept doing it.
Yeah. Fair enough. This movie was not captivating while shoving so much in your face at the same time.
By the way, the jokes, they're all bad. But, 90% of them were just bad puns.
Yeah.
It's all just puns.
Yeah. Yeah.
The dewdrop-in funeral home, that doesn't even make sense.
Right.
A dewdrop that you get from a leaf?
I think it's just so frustrating that Disco Vampire.
That's all I sent Austin last night. I was like, I guess I should start watching it. And then I had subtitles on. It was when Lily Munster.
Explain the plot.
So, by the way, I don't know when this movie is set because it feels like it's clearly in the 60s, but then they have references to dating apps and stuff that's only in modern day. And then at one point they reference John Wayne as if he's been long dead, but he was around in the 60s.
Tinder existed in the 60s and 70s.
Oh,
right?
It did. Okay, never mind.
No, actually. The company Tinder existed back then.
It did?
No, I'm just...
Yeah. It's what are you talking about?
I just wanted to see how far I could gaslight you, but I didn't feel like doing it.
But
I changed my mind.
No, so Lily goes on Tinder and gets a date with this old vampire called Count Orlok, which is obviously trying to be Nosferatu.
Right.
And so they go on the date. It's obviously awful, the date and the scene. And then they start walking home in this weird amalgamation of all these different neon signs. It feels like it's trying to be Tim Burton with that German expressionistic art style. And then he goes to his house and he's like, "Ooh, I got a surprise for you." And that's actually how he sounds too.
It is. That is completely how it sounds.
And he starts playing this song that And he starts dancing to it, and the lyrics are disco vampire, sexy, sexy, disco vampire. What? What?
Yeah. Audience, everything Anthony just told you is the complete truth. Unfortunately, that is what happens. I wanted something I just thought of was you talked about the set design earlier, and I think that is mostly comparable to like a haunted house. It just feels the shot composition of this movie always feels like the set. Like, it doesn't feel like the set extends past the frame.
No, not at all.
It's always shot just wide enough, I would say incorrectly, where it does not feel like anything is to the left or right of the building directly in front of you. And so, man.
Yeah. Do you want to go into the story?
Movie stress me out. Yeah, let's go into the story, Anthony. Tell me about the story. Tell me about this coherent plot that we have right in front of us.
So we start out following... I guess Dr. Frankenstein. I don't know.
Yeah, we don't know
and
his
Igor. And they're going out collecting brains and body parts to create their Frankenstein. And all the while, we get Lily Munster and her dad, her dear old dad, who Lily keeps trying to find love, but because she's a horrible actress, she can never find love.
Actually,
yes,
her name is not Munster at the beginning of the movie.
Oh, yeah. What is it?
You fool. I don't know. I don't know what it is.
Fool.
But it's not that.
We get Lily and the Count then.
That's good.
I'll
take that.
And, yeah, I don't feel like we, said enough about Sherry Moon Zombie's performance. It is so flighty. All she does is just put up her hands.
Yeah.
And just acts, all surprised at everything. Oh, Hermie.
Oh, Herman Munster.
No, it's Hermie. You fool.
I guarantee you she says Herman at some point.
Oh, she does.
It's not Hermie every time.
Yeah, she says Herman Munster when she gets mad when he sold the house.
True.
But anyway,
she said her full name.
Yes. Anyway.
I hate this movie.
So
I need to rate it on Letterboxd.
And then Herman gets created. Immediately becomes a rock star sensation without any explanation. Yeah. He just becomes a rock star.
Yeah.
And then Lily sees him on the TV, falls in love, goes to one of his shows. He sees her, falls in love. They both fall in love. They go to a dinner, and then the Daddy-O disagrees. He's like, no. And then they leave. They go on a date. He proposes immediately. They get married. And then...
Did you think the marry thing was going to be a bit? I thought it was going to be like a word that starts with M but isn't marry, and then it actually is, and it's like, oh.
My brain was off at that moment. I was like...
No, fair enough.
I wasn't expecting anything. All the while, for some reason, they have a brother, or the Count has a son that's a werewolf.
Yes.
And he's trying to sell the house to be a casino. And
I thought no, I think that's right.
Yeah, or not even sell, just give away the house to the Count's ex.
I thought he just wanted money so he could go gamble in Vegas.
Well, I think they said
the house into a casino.
Yeah, they said I want to turn the real estate into a casino. But then he also says, "Hey, I went to Vegas to a casino." It doesn't make sense. But and then right before they get married, so Herman and Lily are not legally together at all. The Lester gets Herman to sign the document saying, "I will give you the house." It's not his house to give.
It's not.
So that document is not legally binding. Because they are not married yet at all. And even then, the Count has legal ownership of the house, not Lily Munster. Oh. And so they get married, and then Lester's like, ha, we got the house now. And they're like, oh, no. And then they better call Saul. So they call Saul Goodman. Anthony. And then Saul's like, yeah, there's nothing I can do with this case. Like it's...
Anthony.
Yeah.
At what point did you ever think that this movie would pertain to the court of law? And
when they tried to bring it up.
And would, my good sir.
No, I'm sorry.
The conversation you're referring to
is
between
not legally binding.
Is between a Herman Munster and a werewolf. And your first concern is that at the time of signing it, he wasn't legally married to his vampire wife.
Yes.
That's your concern here.
Yes. Because that is what they wanted us to be concerned about.
Anthony, follow-up question.
Okay.
Why are you such a hater?
You're a hater, too.
I'm not a hater. I love things. I love Miss Marvel. I watched all of She-Hulk.
Tell me how much you love this movie, then.
Okay. I love this movie.
I'm not done with the story. So they get married.
Yeah.
The house is given away. And instead of Herman owning up to his mistakes and be like, I am so sorry, they're like, oh well, let's go to California.
Yeah, they were all very down with that. They went to Paris.
They did go to Paris
first because they won something, or they.
Why did they go to Paris? It was their honeymoon, I think.
Right.
Yeah, so they go to Paris.
And they go to
for
Paris
no reason.
And for 9 of the 10 shots in Paris, it's green screened of them dancing in front of a green screen with shots of Paris behind them.
Honestly, I think I was on my phone at that point. I do not remember that at all. I'm gonna go watch it right now. I'm gonna go to Netflix.
Go for it.
Rewatch that part.
It's weird because, well, first of all, clearly they didn't have the budget to go to Paris and shoot like a single shot in front of the Eiffel Tower. But at the end of that green screen sequence, there is a shot of them walking down an alleyway with like the Eiffel Tower behind them.
Yeah.
I might be giving too much credit to the movie in saying this, but I couldn't tell if that was real or not. I doubt they actually, if they were.
Oh, this one?
No, God. I'm pretty sure that one's fake.
Oh, this.
That's the green screen
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah, that's all horrible. That's all bad.
But go to the end, because when they have a conversation and they have their, like, yes, that one.
Yeah.
Do you think that's, like, in Georgia somewhere, or is that Paris?
That's in Georgia somewhere.
Okay. It's pathetic. And it's like, if they already have, so clearly they only had the budget to rotoscope the Eiffel Tower into one shot. And that's the one they chose. For the rest of them, they were green screening mimes in 2 shots, and that's what they did.
Yeah.
It was pathetic. Like, I don't know. You do what you will with the budget, and I know that they're going for that kind of like goofy haha green screen bit, but they do that 4 times. They do it again later with a car. When they're driving to their new house, I think that's when they do it.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
When
they're in
are you talking about the animated sequence?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they weren't animated. Well, it was mostly
everything
animated
else was animated except for them in the car.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So after Paris, so they find out. Oh, Herman gave away the house before he. And he was never even allowed to give away the house. It's not even his house. Yeah, they're like, oh, Hermie. And then the dad's like, I knew you were no good. And then they're like, he's like, how about we go to California? And the dad's like, I love you.
The dad does have quite the redemption arc, like in the matter of 3 seconds.
And then they immediately go over. They see a real estate agent who, oh, by the way, when they're in Paris, everyone saw them and like screamed and ran. And then the real estate agent sees them, just faints.
Yeah.
And then she's like, oh, good costume. Drives them around town in a weird animated sequence where they're not animated.
Right.
But there's just like stick drawings around. And
they, I don't think we're giving enough credit to the effects. Specifically, one that they do twice that I know of, which is probably more, but the time remapping of... Well, the first one is when Lily first meets Herman, and she knocks on the door, and Igor opens it up. And he's like, blah, blah, blah,
they just mess with the frame
rate. I look like Hagrid from Harry Potter. And then Herman Munster, like, he goes, and it literally plays like the whoop, 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 whoop.
Oh, by the way, they have so many, like, slide whistles in this movie, and, like, little, like, drums or whatever to play jokes, and it's horrible.
This movie is to other movies as... PowerPoint 2010 is to, like, I don't even know anything like a well-made PowerPoint.
Yeah.
I'm talking like the crazy transitions. You got clip art.
Yeah, they have
sound effects.
So many weird transitions. When I watch this movie, I always thought, oh my, okay, they reached the lowest they can go, and then they did something else, and my jaw just dropped each time. I'm like, I can't believe you're doing this, like that animated sequence.
Right.
And then they find the perfect house, and they just get it for free.
Right.
And then
not in this economy.
they go to like a Halloween party where everyone's like, "Oh, good costume! Wow, you're so ugly and stuff." And I'm like, "Are they trying to do a social critique with 10 minutes left in this movie?"
Right.
By the way, yeah, 10 minutes left,
Mhm.
and then they're like, "No, we're not gonna even acknowledge like all the stuff they're saying." And then it ends. Well, Herman gets a job, and then they're like, he goes outside. He's like, "Oh my god, like everyone's a monster now."
So
And
it took
that's
me until the end of the movie to look up what the Munsters actually was. And the Munsters takes place already in the mansion that they make it to. This is like a prequel.
Yeah, this is the untold story of the Munsters, which was untold for a reason.
Nice. Yes, it was. I didn't know that. And so I was like, okay, well, the story sucks. Narratively, this movie has no midpoint or rising action or like anything. Every movie should have like so many like beats that it needs to hit. You have your inciting incident that kicks the story off. In this, it was them making Frankenstein, I guess. And then from there, you move on to like raising the stakes, and you get your midpoint where something dramatic. From the point on that Herman Munster is created, the movie loses all shape.
I think it lost shape before.
Well, yeah, it did. But listen, man, I'm trying.
Yeah.
The movie's all over the place.
They also like, in my notes, I put they weirdly push like traditional marriage like stereotypes. Like Herman, like he has to be tough, like he's the man of the house and stuff. When obviously the whole thing is like, oh, it should be no, they're just a loving couple.
Right.
Like this is what the Addams Family like is. Like they're trying to be what the Addams Family is.
Right.
Where like you get Morticia and I forget the dad of the Addams Family,
I don't know.
but like they're such a loving couple, and like you see that they don't care about like those stereotypes. But then with this, it's like, for one, they have no chemistry in this movie. Herman and Lily, no chemistry whatsoever. I never bought that they were a couple. Part of me thinks it's like Rob Zombie was like, okay, be loving but not too loving. That's my wife.
Yeah.
And
is that his wife?
Yeah, it's his wife. You didn't know that?
No.
I said Sherry Moon Zombie before.
I don't listen to you. What?
Yeah, it's his wife playing Lily. How do you think she got the job?
That makes a lot of.
I don't want to be rude. I don't want to be rude.
Anthony, I don't know what else we're doing here.
But, yeah, and like I can't tell that they're loving at all. And like they keep trying to push these stereotypes where like Herman starts to cry, and then during the wedding because he's emotional, and the dad's like, "Oh, like be a man, like don't do that." And then like, "Oh, like be a man, Herman, do this. Be a man, Herman, do this." Wow, and it's like it's just weird. Like especially like we're in 2022. You don't have to push those stereotypes. Anything? Are you still on the why?
Okay.
Do you have anything to say about the stereotypes?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Well, this movie sucks.
Yeah.
I don't know what Rob Zombie was going for. I feel like he was like, well, the show came out in the '60s, so we have to hate women, and then and then he did, and it was weird.
That's not what you do. Yeah, you don't do that, and then they did that.
This movie is not a timepiece. It is not a World War II feature film where you need the cruelties of that time to showcase how terrible they were. You don't. That is weird. Nothing in this movie worked, especially that. One of my funnies that I know. How is it? Holy crap!
We started late.
Okay. Sorry, I just realized what time it was, guys. But anyways. The first credit you see is written and directed by Rob Zombie.
Yes.
And first of all, why would you claim that you wrote this? Second of all, why would you claim that you directed this? Third of all, if I worked on this film, I would ask that my name not be on it. Geez Louise, this movie stinks.
Yeah.
Man,
Some of
let me see if I have any
my
other
notes that I didn't say yet
go for
is they love the slide whistle.
Yeah, they do.
Why doesn't Herman own up to his mistake? Because he's a man, so he makes no mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
Especially at the end when it turns out, that mistake got them rich.
Yeah.
But I said, so the Count is rich until he gives the house away. Because the entire movie he's like, oh, my bank account, like this werewolf kid is like, hurting my bank account, but I'm still good.
Yeah.
And then they give away the house. I'm broke. What am I gonna do? No chemistry. Every time I think it can't get worse, they somehow outdo themselves. They have so many pop culture references. With like in a movie, you don't want to make too many because it just dates your movie. Yeah. Where like if you watch it years later, it just becomes dated.
Right.
But these pop culture references were from decades ago,
mm-hmm.
so it's already dated. And then it, like half your audience is not gonna know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
It's just so poor writing throughout, poor lighting,
everything.
set direction, acting, all of it is just poor.
My final note that I took before I gave up was roll of 180 who. Anthony, have you do you know roll of 180?
No.
When two characters...
wait, yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah. For audience members, when you have two characters who are having a dialogue face-to-face, and you're trying to record that for like a film or a video, you need to imagine that there's a line connecting the two of them, and then on one half of it's like you make a semicircle.
Yeah.
And when you're shooting one person talking, you need to move that in that 180 degree to look the other way. You can't cross over the shoulders.
Yeah, you don't want to pass like their head.
Yes,
the back of their head.
It can. Some directors can do it, and if you pull it off, well done, good enough.
Yeah, and when it's broken, correct. When it's broken correctly, it's used to create like anxiety and stuff like that.
And most of the time, you can't tell if it's broken.
Yeah.
Or if it's broken, well, you can't tell. But if done poorly, it will completely ruin the perspective of your film and messes everything up. Half of the conversations in this film are done on the perpendicular line looking dead at the person.
It does.
It messes everything up. It makes it feel awkward. It feels like I don't want this lady talking directly to me.
Especially with almost all the conversations being at that long dinner table between Lily and her dad.
Mm-hmm.
And there's so many weird Dutch angles, which make no sense whatsoever. The cinematography is so bad in this. Weird angles, weird shots, all of it is weird. Yeah, I feel like we could keep going on for this forever.
I couldn't. I'm so done.
Okay, well, what would you rate this?
Oh, God. Do you know their animated score?
I don't think I do.
Do you want me to do it, or do you want to do that?
You can do it.
Okay. Or me to look it up?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, first of all, I would rate this very low. There's nothing redeeming to this movie.
No, there really isn't. I tried.
Anthony.
I don't like I always want to like a movie when I see it. Mm-hmm. I don't like talking bad about movies. As wild as it may seem with some of our past reviews, I want to like every movie I see, and I want to find at least something I like about it, even if I don't like it. I couldn't find anything with this movie.
Let me ask you this.
Yes.
Would you rather watch The Munsters again or Home Sweet Home Alone?
Home Sweet Home Alone.
That says it all, folks. Go listen to our Home Sweet Home Alone review, especially with Christmas coming up.
Yeah. I'm not sure which episode it was on because we did at the beginning of one.
Yeah.
But just go listen to them all, and
it's
you'll know.
Around there.
It's around the Christmas time episodes.
If I gave this a score from a 0 to 100, I would give it. It's a single digit. There's no way I can give it above a 10 and feel good. I'd give it like a. Even if I gave it like a 5, where are those 5 coming from?
Yeah.
Is there anything in this movie me that deserves a 5? Or any amount of points,
or even
5?
Any points.
I'm trying really hard, guys. No.
Are you giving it a 0?
Anything redeeming.
It's also almost 2 hours long.
It gets a 1.
A 1?
Yes. At one point, I exhaled. I don't
Not
remember
2?
what it was. No. Don't get over ambitious. Yeah. Some of the bits one of the bits, maybe I remember a good, if possibly. It gets a 1.
I think you're wrong, but
Okay.
I was thinking like maybe a 2, but I keep thinking I can't find anything redeeming about this movie.
I would have to watch it again to find.
I'm not watching this again.
Correct. I would have to watch it again to find the joke that I'm thinking of, because there's one that I remember being like, okay, at least this was framed like a joke, and under any other circumstances I might have laughed, but I exhaled through my nose. Yeah. That's the point.
Even some of the jokes that would have been even slightly humorous, they don't either fit in the context of the movie, or it's delivered so poorly it's not funny.
Right.
But you know what? Yeah, I'm right there with you. I'd give it a 1.
All right. I think that's a wrap's lowest score on a movie. This movie was really bad.
It is on
guys.
Netflix right now. Go check it out. I'm kidding. Don't watch it. Watch it.
Anthony, please. I need you to tell me the tomato meter and audience score for this film.
Tomato meter, I think people are gonna be better about it. Maybe they'll like the camp. But I still don't think it'll be there. Part of me wants to say it's around Morbius levels in like the teens. But I think there's gonna be some zombie heads. And I'm going to say 32%.
Tomato meter 32?
I kind of want to say 38%, but 32.
32?
Yeah.
Okay. Give me critics, or not critics,
audience
score.
There's so many zombie heads. They're going to love this movie regardless, just because Rob Zombie has a name on it. I'm going to say 56%.
For the tomato meter, he said 32%.
Yes.
The tomato meter of this...
We can't change the audience to 60.
60?
Yeah, I'm going to say 60.
Okay. Tomato meter for the Munsters 2022 by Rob Zombie.
Yes.
50%.
Oh my... No.
It's a 50%.
No.
The audience score. You said
it's going to be way higher.
You said 60%. Do you want to change your guess?
70.
70%?
Yeah.
Final answer.
Final answer.
Audience score. 35%. I tricked you.
You did. So for once, we're siding with the audience.
I'll have you know, the tomato meter only has 48 reviews.
Is there a consensus?
Yeah, there's a consensus. The Rob Zombified Munsters revival show shows clear affection for the source material, but it never translates into a compelling update on the classic series. See, that's probably where the 50% came from, because it's maybe 46 of the 48 people had seen the original Munsters.
Yeah.
I
guess I get where he's going.
Yeah, I hate women.
I hate women. And I want my wife to be in everything, so we're a perfect match, Rob Zombie and I.
And that's the Munsters, and 35% audience. That's 1,000+ ratings for that one. So, yeah.
Do you have any final thoughts on Rob Zombie's wife being the lead? If you want to know, she's the lead.
Sucks.
She's the lead in all of his movies.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh no.
Except maybe Halloween. But I think she was
Halloween.
The remakes in 2007 and 2009.
Okay, so not the modern remakes.
No, not the modern ones.
So there's Halloween, the original, in like 1980 something probably. Yeah.
It was 1978, and then Halloween 2, which was a direct sequel. Then Halloween 3, which was like an anthology thing,
right?
With which no one liked, but apparently people like now. And Halloween 4, the return of Michael Myers. Then 5, and 6. And then Halloween H2O, I'm probably missing a few in between, which was basically what Halloween 2018 was, which was 20 years later. Jamie Lee Curtis is back because she left after the second one. And she's finally going to take down Michael Myers. And then Halloween Resurrection, which was in like 2002 or something, in which like Jamie Lee Curtis was at the very beginning of it, but she's like, kill me so I don't have to be in any more of these movies. And then Rob Zombie's Halloween in 2007, and then Halloween 2 in 2009. And then this most recent like reboot, which was Halloween like 40 years later.
That's so confusing. I hate that. Go check out our Halloween Ends review.
It's going to be coming at you later today,
True.
too, in a rerun.
We do have that running. Obviously, I'm not a member of the fine team here at North Dakota Radio.
You are a member.
Well, I'm a member of the group, I suppose.
Yeah.
But I'm not on the executive high up there in the chairs watching. I'm going to read the movie info for you real quick.
Okay.
Lily is a typical 150-year-old lovelorn vampire who's looking for the man of her nightmares until she lays her eyes on Herman, a 7-foot-tall green experiment with a heart of gold. It's love at first shock. Oh my god. Never mind. This is too long. This movie sucks.
Yeah, movie's
Please
bad.
don't watch it. Do you got anything else?
That's all I got.
Okay. If it wasn't already 3:10, I would rant more about Marvel.
Well, next week,
right,
we are going to be reviewing.
What do we got?
Weird, the Al Yankovic story, which you know what I'm looking forward to.
You know, after Munsters, I don't think anything can be a 1.
No,
but we'll see. We'll see. Daniel Radcliffe, I got high hopes for you.
Yeah, you can follow us at NCRNKU. Or no, that's a wrap NCR.
Wow, doesn't even remember the.
I run
Instagram
so many accounts now. Okay,
you do have your hands full.
Yeah. That's all I got.
I'll go ahead and keep watching the trailers.
Rob Zombie and Sherry Moon Zombie, if you want to come on the show.
I'm busy actually that day. Sorry, I don't think I'll be able to make it.
We can talk about the Munsters and how you failed.
Wow.
I'm kidding.
Wow. Okay. Well, let's go ahead and wrap this up.
I'm sorry.
That's a wrap NCR for all of our updates. We got a weird Al Yankovic movie next week, and
looking forward to it.
Until next time.
That's a wrap.